All right, let's dive into something you probably use every day but maybe never ever think about: motor oil. We're going to uncover its incredible new story, going from the gas station to, well, the garden, to see how modern science is completely reinventing the very fluid that keeps our world moving.
So let me just ask you, what do you think is actually lubricating your car's engine? For what, over a century, the answer has always been the same, right? Petroleum, black gold, crude oil. But you know what? That's all starting to change. The answer to that question is getting way more complex, a lot more sustainable, and honestly, a whole lot more interesting.
And this is where you can really see that shift in thinking. On one side, you've got your conventional oil. It's a finite resource, it comes from petroleum, and it takes forever to break down in the environment. But on the other side, we've got this new challenger: bio-based oil. It comes from renewable plants, and it's actually designed to be biodegradable. This isn't just about a different ingredient, it's a totally different philosophy.
Now, just to be super clear, when we say biodegradable engine oil, we're not talking about putting salad dressing in your engine. No. This is seriously high-tech stuff. It's a lubricant made from renewables, like plant oils, that's specifically engineered to break down naturally. And the whole point is to cut down on pollution and be a lot gentler on our soil and water, which, you have to admit, is a massive step forward.
Okay, so this all sounds pretty great, right? But how in the world do you turn a simple plant into a fluid that can handle the insane heat and pressure inside a car engine? Well, the process is pretty fascinating. It's like a kind of modern-day alchemy.
Okay, so check this out. It all kicks off with the plant itself, just doing its thing, soaking up solar energy. Then, scientists come in and extract the oils from its seeds. But this is where the real magic happens. This plant oil is already pretty pure, way purer than crude petroleum. So instead of just refining it, companies like Chevron and Biosynthetic Technologies are actually re-engineering its molecules, building brand new, super high-performance synthetic molecules literally from the ground up. And what you get from all that work is a base oil that's just fundamentally different from crude. It is way purer, and it has this incredibly uniform molecular structure. And that uniformity, that purity, that's the holy grail for a lubricant. It means you get more predictable, more stable, and ultimately just better performance. See, this isn't just a green alternative, it's actually an engineered upgrade.
So the process is seriously impressive. But let's get to what I think is the most fascinating part of this whole story: the science of how it actually protects your engine. Because this is where a real scientific mystery was solved pretty recently. And believe me, the answer is not what anyone expected. Which brings us to the big question. I mean, an engine is a brutal, brutal environment. So how does any oil, let alone one that started its life as a plant, stand up to all that constant friction and those tiny explosions? How does it stop your engine from slowly grinding itself into dust? To really get the solution, first you got to understand the problem. It's this thing called corrosive abrasive wear. See, oils have additives that form this soft, protective little film on all the metal parts. But soot, which is just a byproduct of burning fuel, acts like microscopic sandpaper, and it's constantly scraping that protective film away. The problem is, when the film gets torn off, it takes a tiny piece of the engine's iron along with it. Do that billions of times, and well, that's engine wear.
So, scientists looking into this noticed something weird. A 2024 paper in Tribology International found that the oils with the lowest wear rates all had something in common: a high level of calcium. This was a huge clue. It pointed to a completely new way of thinking about how to protect against wear. It wasn't just about the main anti-wear stuff anymore. Something else was going on.
And this discovery led to this brilliant defense mechanism. Calcium, which is already in the oil's additive package, basically acts as a sacrificial bodyguard. When that protective film forms, calcium from the oil embeds itself right in there. So when the soot comes along and scrapes the film away, it's removing the calcium from the oil, not the iron from your engine. The oil is literally sacrificing a part of itself to save the metal. How cool is that?
That science is just fantastic, right? But what does it all mean for actual real-world performance when you're behind the wheel? Well, it turns out this isn't about making some kind of compromise for the environment. It's about achieving genuinely superior engineering. So take engine temperature, for example. It's the enemy of performance and long life. These plant-based oils can actually run cooler. They have better thermal conductivity, which just means they're way more efficient at pulling heat away from all those critical parts. That reduces thermal stress and helps the whole engine run more smoothly.
And the benefits, they just keep stacking up. Sources from Chevron to Allied Analytics point to this whole list of perks. We're talking better fuel economy that actually lasts longer. The oil flows better during a cold startup, which, by the way, is when most engine wear happens. It's less volatile, so you burn less oil between changes, and all that reduced friction just means better efficiency. Some studies are even suggesting you might be able to go longer between oil changes.
Okay, so we've seen how it's made, we've looked at the breakthrough science behind it, and we've checked out the real-world performance gains. Now, let's kind of zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Where does all this technology headed next?
You can really see a clear evolution playing out here. We move from the past of just petroleum-based oils to, right now, the present with these incredible advanced biosynthetics. But the story doesn't stop there. The near future is all about focusing on a true circular economy, thinking about the entire life cycle of the product. And then beyond that, the ultimate goal is to make not just the base oil biodegradable, but every single one of its performance additives too.
And that kind of leaves us with this final thought to chew on. Motor oil is one of the most essential, most established, most industrial products on the entire planet. If we can fundamentally reinvent that using sustainable plant-based science, and in the process make it not just greener, but actually better, you have to wonder, what's next? It's a powerful look at a future where innovation and sustainability are driving each other forward. Thanks for joining me on this Explain.